So hey y'all, so right now we're going to start with the base of this. I got this thrifted basket. I got my hot glue, some Spanish moss. You want to put the moss first, even though it's going to go through these holes. We'll see in a minute. Because you don't want the foam sticking out. It's better to see the moss and the hot glue than the foam. And the hot glue is going to come out either way. So I got my piece of foam I cut down to fit in here real good. And as you can see, I'm going to scoot it all the way to the back so I have plenty of room to stick another piece. And this will give me a little bit more grip. And then I'll go ahead and cover that all up with some more Spanish moss. And y'all be aware, if you're going to use your fingers, you're going to get burnt. Okay, if you don't got iron fingers, you could do the same thing with like some pliers or a stick or anything. So be careful because hot glue hurts. And I'm just mashing and smashing it down, trying to get it in the corners as best I can. So this family wanted neutral colors, which there's not a lot of options for a mainly dried flower arrangement for like browns and blacks and whites, but I made it work. You can spray paint them, but I just didn't think that would give a good look. Dead flower spray painted brown. I don't know about that. For a newborn baby, you know. And then again, it's a boy, so they wanted to do blue. To do your base real good, so that way you can glue things on there and not worry about it falling out, y'all, okay? And right here, we're going to start building our foliage. So this is German Statice spray painted a light green color. And that's, to me, a good neutral color that's going to help really build this bird's nest look that we're going to go for here. And kind of balance out all the blue so it don't look like it's from a different planet, you know. But a good shape is what we're going to start building here. This is a basket. It's kind of circular, as you can see. And so you want to have a circular base. You could do a square base. In my opinion, it don't really look right. So the same thing, if you have a square base, you want to do, or a rectangular base, you want to do harsh lines, you know, a very one-way kind of arrangement. If you have a circle one like this, you want to have your flowers going out like that. You can go more downwards, you know. I just didn't do it for this particular look because, as you see, the basket is so small. So when you do, like I said, circular kind of bases or curvy kind of bases, you want to do curvy or circular kind of shapes. And that will kind of just complete the whole look. And a good idea for balance with color is, as you can see, I started with my second to third lightest color and my second to third darkest color. And this will kind of help just, you know, make sure everything's even. And like this little pop-up is saying now, how I checked it on the wall for the wreath, you can spin this around. So you'll see me spin this around and around, back and forth, making sure I have an even shape. This is my little birdie. As you can see, he matches our neutral colors, the brown, the baby blue, and the black and the white. So I think he fit real good. And we do a lot of birds, so if that's something you like, you can definitely find all different kinds of options. This one had little bendy feet, so it made it easy to smash them in there. And these little spiky ball things are called globe thistles. And I thought they really fit the neutral look of this. So as you can see, I'm just trying to space them out good, keep with that. One, the shape, you can see out there at different elevations. And then also making sure that they're spaced out color-wise. And I left the sticks that I cut off of them to make them the length I wanted and just shoved them in there. I like doing that for kind of bird's nest or just a natural look in general because it looks beautiful. And like I said, I love trash. And now I'm using one of my darker colors to kind of give it some more depth. Just like I'll go on with later about the highlights, the depths are really important. You can do an all similar color arrangement. They kind of look like a big flower ball, which is cute. But it's not the look I'm going for personally on this one. And remember, while the glue's still hot, you can angle it whichever way you want, as you see me doing right now. And that will help keep with your shape and everything too. And here I'm going to go ahead and add in a few highlights to kind of just give me a good idea of what I'm looking at. And you can kind of extend them off the side too, especially when you do circulars. And it will just kind of help give it a nice rounded shape. And it looks like a big old basket full of flowers. It's real pretty. And another good idea, like with the bird, is to have a centerpiece. So you don't have to do a bird. We've done horses, deer, fish, horseshoes, whatever you want to do. And it's essentially, if you can put it anywhere, then it works as a centerpiece. And then you can kind of focus the whole arrangement around that. And it creates a pretty little scene, you know, not just an arrangement. But also, You can also use them as accents. So, like, say you wanted to do the same arrangement, you filled up the middle with the same things, and then you stuck some little butterflies coming out of it. They work really well to just create some interesting dynamics. And you can do like I'm doing and mix real dried flowers that you can spray paint or not with these silk flowers, like the baby's breath and dark purple flowers are fake. The thistles and the German Statice are obviously real. And these roses are fake too. I forgot about them. I'm looking right at them. And I do apologize for the white glare. I didn't think that my light would be as aggravated by all the brightness of this arrangement, but it clearly was. I'll figure it out here eventually, but I'm sorry about that. And as you can see from looking at my sides, it ain't got to be even, like you can do. You see I have dark on the bottom, light in the middle, and then green on the top. Well, yeah, I guess I just flipped them on both sides. And I took that out because it was looking too dark right there, and it wasn't looking dark enough on this side. So I stuck them in that corner. And when I pull it back here, you'll see, doesn't that look so much better? More balance. And the same thing with these dark blues in this light colored blue. This is all German Statice spray painted different colors. I was checking to see if that blue would work because it's not quite the same, and I thought it made a pretty pop, so I left it in there. And I got it in that dark blue, that light blue, that green color, and also periwinkle. I think I'm putting in right now. It looked pretty good to me, so I just kept it in there, kept doing it, because there was too much white around that bird for me. We don't want him to be too dark because he is our center point, but we definitely don't want him to look like a whole different part of the arrangement. That's the trick. You want to make sure you're blending all areas together if that's the look you're going for, which that's been the case for most of mine, unless it was like a sculpture kind of thing, And even then, I definitely carried some properties from one side over to the next just to make it look like a conclusive piece, but maybe that's just me. But anyways, for this one, I'm doing kind of like a reverse mullet situation. So the front part is like this big, beautiful bird's nest. It's kind of bursting out. The mommy put some flowers in there, whatever, for her little baby bird. But then the back's going to be kind of natural and toned down. I think I'm about to flip it getting here soon and start working on the back. I do this late at night after I get off of work. So God knows what time it is. And if you see my dirty hands, y'all, okay, please understand, I'm probably painting before I do this. Okay, I don't take time to wash the paint out underneath my nails because a lot of times I flip back and forth trying to get everything done. And as you can see here, I've been adding the highlights, and you can see how that really makes everything pop. The globe thistle is definitely a lighter color than the blue, but it doesn't make everything quite pop like this white does. And that's why you want to pick your, color palette, whether you're using real flowers for completely indoor use or silk flowers for completely outdoor use or a mix for indoor use, you know what I mean? Pick your color palette and make sure you have a range of really dark to really light colors, which is, like pretty much a dark purple, a dark black, a dark red, a dark brown, anything like that, all the way up to you wanted to have white in there. I haven't had one arrangement where I was like, what wouldn't make this better? White. Like you could even cut these little pieces of silk baby's breath into individual ones, even smaller than I did, in other words, and then have even minier ones, and it'd still give the same really good pop effect. This is the next day. I had to go to sleep. It was like 5 a.m. He don't get his own chair because he's big, about 120 pounds, and it's back to work. So now we're out the back, okay, y'all? So I'm checking the front, making sure I remember what I'm doing, making sure I remember what I want for the back. I found these little BlackBerry looking things, and I was like, those would be good. Because they like black, and like I said, I didn't want to go spray paint. And we don't even think we have black spray paint because most people don't want black flowers. Especially not where I live at. So I'm making sure they're spaced out. And I thought, because the bird has some black in its face, it would definitely look good having some more black around the bird and then branching out. Give us an extra layer of depth, just like the white being really bright. The really darks make everything look really cohesive and nice. So I cut up some mini pieces and put them up in the front too. And this, you want to make sure, like I said earlier, you're getting different lengths, different heights. And then you can get that circular shape like I was talking about earlier. It wasn't really vibing with that. It was too dark in that corner. I'm thinking about where am I going to put them. And I decided right up here was the only place really missing something. The center, especially around a centerpiece, is hard because you don't want to get it too covered up, but you don't want to leave it bare. So we're on to the back now that I cleaned up the front. I'm going to start just like I started from the front with that green on the bottom, helping me hide my foam. That's the number one thing. Hide your foam, you know. And I had a hard time trying to figure out what I wanted to put in that gap in between the Thistle and the German Statice right there. I wanted to bring some brightness up. I eventually figured it out, so we'll get there. But I'm just building my way around the bottom right now. And you can see how that German Statice is already hiding it. And I decided the lavender would look good, give me some height and everything like that too. So here I am kind of adding it into the back, see how it looks first. And then I'm like, oh, I got to do this at the front now. So here I am. And it kind of matches the globe thistle, so it kind of helps brings everything together in the color palette. And if you're going to use something like lavender, you got to be gentle. It will break apart on you. The German Statice is pretty hardy, and the globe thistles definitely are hardy. But, the lavender will crumble pretty much no matter what you do. I left a few times in there of me actually getting the glue on there to show you how I did it. Okay, and this is where I'm figuring out what am I going to be behind that birdie? Because as you can see, it looks like it gaps in the height. I could have left it, but I wanted it to look more full than that. So I took this big old piece of German Statice and was like, let me see if I can finagle them in there. And I left all this roughness around. It's usually not this hard, just to show you how annoying it can be. And just, twist them that way, twist them this way. You'll get them in there right. Twist it around back and forth. Do that a few times to make sure it's in there how you wanted it. And as you can see, that gave me the height and the color I needed right there. So I'm going back in with this blue I already had in the German Statice and just kind of filling them in there. As you can see, I'm going to leave a lot of this moss showing. That's what I'm talking about where I say reverse mullet. The party's in the front in this one. Okay, y'all. I don't want to beat the dead horse, y'all, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit and play some music by my friend Willy Dickin. His links will be in my description, so check him out. So as you can see, you do your sides just like you do your back. The only thing is you really want to make sure that the profile view is about the same. So as much as it's going to stick out as tall as it is, the colors. And you want to make sure your foam's hidden. So it really ain't no big deal with that. And here I am just checking them out, doing this side now. About done, guys. And I hope this video has been helpful for you, especially if you're a beginner. I hope, maybe it shows you some different techniques or just a different idea how to do things. I've never really been taught by anyone but my grandparents. They're the ones that do all this. Theirs is the stuff that you see hanging up on the wall. So, maybe I'm wrong, and I don't even do it like they do it because I can't listen. So, this is just my take on things. If it's been helpful, please leave me a like if you care to do that, and maybe subscribe if you want to see similar content. And this is kind of one of them knowing when things are done kind of deals. When you're finishing filling something out, you just finally eventually learn how to get the eye for it. You can see the kind of empty spots. So if you're not used to doing it, just look around and see where the spots are and where you would think you would fill them. And even if you do know how to do all this stuff and you're just watching to figure out how I did this one, see if I missed any spots, I guess, because sometimes I miss a spot. And here it is, guys. We are done. This is it late at night. I'll have some better footage here that I had in the beginning and at the end. Just showing y'all sides. I like the way this turned out. I think it turned out real cute. Like I said, y'all, please like and subscribe. Have a good day. Thanks.